Welcome to the deep dive. If you've ever, applied for a job and felt your resume just vanished, or maybe you've been on the other side, as a recruiter, just buried under applications, well, that hiring bottleneck, that's really the huge challenge in talent acquisition today, isn't it?
It really is. Recruiters are just drowning, and honestly, good candidates get so frustrated they often wait weeks, just stuck in limbo.
Yeah, absolutely. So our mission today is to really dig into this huge shift that's happening. We're looking at how a new kind of AI is coming into play and what does this mean for the future of work? Specifically, this problem of really great candidates just drowning unseen.
And we're not just talking theory here. We're looking at a specific AI recruiting partner. It's called Alex. They just announced some major funding. And this funding, well, it feels like a big signal that the old ways of hiring, they're just not cutting it anymore. Officially broken, you might say.
And when you look at that signal, the numbers are definitely loud. Alex raised, what, $20 million in total?
That's right, $20 million. It was anchored by a pretty big $17 million Series A, and that came after a $3 million seed round.
Okay, $20 million is serious cash.
It is, but I think the really telling part isn't just the amount, it's who is involved. Peak XV Partners led the Series A, sure, but look who else is participating. You've got CHROs, chief human resources officers from major Fortune 500 companies investing their own money.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, alongside big names like Y Combinator, industry folks like Tim Sackett, 1984 Ventures from the seed round too.
That list, that tells you pretty much everything, doesn't it? When the people running, hiring at the biggest companies are personally backing an AI like this,
Exactly.
they're basically shouting that the old HR tech stack just hasn't kept up. It failed to scale. So this investment, it's more than just money. It feels like a declaration from the industry saying, look, automation, specifically autonomy, is becoming the core way recruiting will operate. Okay, so let's dig into why they're so desperate for this kind of change. The sources we looked at describe the current situation as the talent ocean. I think that metaphor is spot on. It's not just about lots of candidates. It's this overwhelming, messy flood that just paralyzes people trying to evaluate fairly.
Totally. And the result of that messiness isn't just that hiring takes forever. It means the evaluations themselves are often inconsistent, maybe even flawed. Candidates wait weeks just for a first look. Then, if they get an interview, it might be rushed, or the questions could be totally different depending on who's doing it that day.
Right, no consistency.
None.
Yeah.
And from the company side, this means those really important structured notes, they often get missed, or they're different across the board. So when it comes time to actually make the hiring decision, these huge, expensive choices are being made based on, well, gut instinct more than solid comparable data.
And that's the real shame here, I think. Companies don't want to overlook good people. It's not intentional.
No, of course not.
But the system, the lack of capacity and structure in this talent ocean, it just means those hidden gems, the candidates who might look a bit different on paper, they just slip through the cracks.
They do, because the human recruiters literally don't have the bandwidth to look at everyone deeply and fairly.
So, if the problem is this chaotic talent ocean, the solution seems to be about widening what our sources call the talent aperture.
Right.
Let's talk about Alex. It sounds like it's positioned not just as another tool, but really as an AI partner, designed to bring structure and radical consistency, but at a huge scale.
That's the idea. And Alex does this by changing how that top-of-funnel activity works. It's moving beyond just matching keywords in a resume. It's about capturing structured data from the start. That's the key technical bit for you listening. It automates those really high-volume tasks.
Okay, structured data capture. How does that actually work in practice?
Well, the mechanism is crucial. When Alex does, say, a live video interview or a phone screen, it's not just recording it. It's using these active learning models to actually standardize the input. It tracks and captures specific data points, let's say 15 different criteria, and it does that consistently for every single candidate.
So it's essentially automating consistency itself.
Precisely. It runs resume screens too, handles all the scheduling back and forth, and this is vital. Takes those structured notes and puts everything right into the company's applicant tracking system, the ATS.
Automatically.
Automatically.
Okay. And the sources mentioned 20 plus other autonomous workflows. That sounds a bit like marketing speak. What does that actually translate to?
Yeah, fair point. But it points to automating things like reference checks, or maybe doing a deeper dive into portfolio links someone submits, and then integrating those findings directly into that same structured note format for the candidate. It's about building a really comprehensive, data-rich profile automatically.
Right, so it's not just screening, it's deeper evaluation too.
Exactly. It's the comprehensiveness. And this whole feature set, this is what allows recruiters to, as they put it, interview everyone and hire the best.
Hmm.
They're not just stuck looking at the obvious candidates, the ones whose resumes are perfectly formatted for the old keyword systems.
So the AI lets them actually evaluate more people.
Far more people. And because that evaluation is structured and consistent, the idea is they evaluate them more fairly too.
Now that's the really interesting part for me. By forcing that consistency, by taking out some of the human bias that creeps in when you're rushing through thousands of applications,
Mm-hmm.
the AI actually uncovers candidates who might have been dismissed too quickly before, either by an algorithm looking for keywords or just subjective judgment.
That's the promise, finding those people who didn't fit the perfect mold but have the actual skills.
So connecting this to the bigger picture, what does this mean for the human recruiter's job? That's always the big question with AI, isn't it?
It is, and the sources are pretty clear on this. The argument is that Alex frees up recruiters to do the things they're actually best at. It elevates their role, fundamentally.
How so?
Well, the job shifts. It moves away from being an administrative gatekeeper, managing the process flow,
Right.
towards being more of a strategic advisor. Recruiters can now spend their time building real relationships, but with candidates who are already pre-qualified and vetted by the AI. They're advising hiring managers, using data, they're handling complex negotiations, focusing on making sure the hired candidate succeeds, not just inputting data or making endless screening calls.
So it changes the skills needed then.
Yeah,
You need fewer people who are just good at wading through volume
definitely.
and more people who excel at synthesizing data, negotiation, high-level strategy, people who can take the AI's objective data and kind of translate it into the company's culture fit narrative for the manager.
Exactly. Interpreting the objective to inform the subjective, you could say.
Which explains why you see industry veterans getting behind this. Tim Sackett, he's a general partner at the HR Tech 100 Fund. He didn't just call Alex a game changer. He actually said, adopting this kind of advanced AI is basically a necessity for top talent organizations. He even said it stands out from anything he's seen in like 20 years.
Yeah, strong words. And that sense of immediate necessity, you see it reflected in the traction Alex already has. Apparently, in just the last 18 months, it's helped hire thousands of people across tens of thousands of jobs.
Wow, okay.
And it's not just small companies or one specific sector. Their clients include Fortune 100s, big financial institutions, nationwide restaurant chains, even Big Four accounting firms.
So it's scaling across different verticals already.
Right now, it seems to be hitting a nerve everywhere.
Okay, so that momentum plus the $20 million in funding, it really pushes us to look at the long-term vision here. The goal seems to be moving beyond just making the current process smoother towards actually running the process, deepening the AI so it can eventually match every open job to the right candidate totally autonomously.
And this brings up a really fascinating and maybe critical debate about where this all ends up. Arnav Sahu, the partner at PeakXV who led the investment, he put it really bluntly. He said, essentially, in the future, AI agents will run the entire recruiting process autonomously. It's inevitable.
Whoa, okay, inevitable. That's a strong claim. But hang on, if autonomy is inevitable, doesn't that raise a big question? If every top company uses similar AI to screen everyone perfectly, consistently, how does any company keep a unique cultural identity or find niche talent? Doesn't perfect efficiency risk leading to, well, homogenization? Everyone hiring the same optimized profile.
That's the core tension, absolutely. The bet from Alex's backers, it seems, is that this level of automation will actually force companies to get much clearer about their specific human strategic input, what makes them different. Given the usage numbers and reportedly the customer enthusiasm for Alex, the projection is that this kind of solution really could redefine hiring across the entire labor market, mainly by nailing that objective evaluation piece.
Right, so it's automating, say, the 80% of the process that needs structure and consistency,
Yes.
so that the human element is focused where it truly adds unique value. Judgment, building relationships, strategic alignment with the company's actual vision and needs.
That seems to be the core argument.
And to bring it all back, the company's mission statement sums this up nicely. Their goal is to ensure that no great candidate drowns unseen in the talent pool. They're trying to close that huge gap between a great job opportunity and a great potential candidate who just got missed by the old, overwhelmed system.
Makes sense.
So let's crystallize this. What does all this mean for you listening?
I think the crucial takeaway is how AI is shifting. It's moving from being just a tool to manage the hiring process, like a family database or spreadsheet, to being a tool that actually executes chunks of the process autonomously, using this structured data capture approach. And interestingly, that autonomous execution seems to be making the human recruiter's job more strategic, more impactful, not less. The whole trend is towards both efficiency and better fairness. Using data, using structure to consistently find those hidden gems, the people who might get overlooked by subjective bias or just lack of time.
Yeah.
This tech is basically forcing the human side of hiring to level up, to evolve past basic screening and focus completely on that high-level strategy, interpreting complex data.
We're definitely watching a fundamental change in the hiring funnel unfold right now. So with that in mind, here's a final thought for you to chew on as you watch this space evolve. If AI agents do end up handling, let's say, 80% of the structured, objective evaluation side of hiring, does the ultimate value of the human hiring manager become their ability to blend the AI's data with the company's unique subjective cultural story? Are we maybe about to see a rise in demand for, like, data-driven storytelling skills in HR? Something to think about. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.
Looking for more tips on apps and startups? Check the link in the description. Thanks for tuning in.